In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you a simple way to build your email list fast, and we're going to do so by creating what's called a content upgrade. A content upgrade is simply something extra that you provide people who are already consuming your content. So I'm over here on my Japan travel site, and you can see I've got a bunch of posts that I've published recently. Now, if somebody is investing their time to consume this content, then I can also put time and effort into creating a content upgrade, something extra that is related to the piece of content that they are reading that helps me build my email list. So I give them this gift in exchange for their email address. But the thing is, if you're like me, you've got tons and tons of pieces of content, and it's going to take you absolutely forever to create content upgrades for each article. Not only have you got to think of ideas, you've then got to go and create stuff, sync everything up and make sure that it all works. So the best thing to do is to check your analytics and focus on your most popular posts first, because those are the ones that are already getting traffic. So here we are inside of my Clicky analytics. While I do have Google Analytics installed, I prefer Clicky. I just find it easier to read and see stuff at a glance. So we can see that recently the most popular content is this post, followed by this one, this one, this one, and so on. So what I'm going to do is focus on one of these top posts for now. Now, in order to come up with ideas, we can obviously think of things ourselves, or we can leverage AI so we can provide the actual content and get it to list us some content upgrades. So what we'll do is I will go with this Osaka itinerary post here. So I'm going to come here and just try and find that post. So I'm going to click and just type in Osaka itinerary and get that actual post. It's this one here. So we're going to click on this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to pull the content. So if I just bring this down so you can see it, I've got this Google Chrome extension up here, which is completely free. It's called Reader View. And if I click on this, it shows me everything without the images, which is really useful. So I am going to basically copy everything. So let me just kind of come down and copy this whole thing here. I think that'll do. I'm then going to head on over to, I'm actually going to go to Claude. I prefer Claude to ChatGPT. And we're going to just basically have a conversation. So first of all, I'm going to ask Claude, are you familiar with content upgrades and how they can help build an email list? And I'm going to hit enter. Now, of course, it is going to be familiar, but I just want to double check and start the conversation rolling. It's going to kind of tell me stuff that I didn't really ask it and give me lots and lots of information that I already know. But okay, great. I need 5 ideas for a content upgrade for this post that is on my Japan travel blog. And I'm also going to say something like avoid videos, audio, or anything complex. Must be simple to create. And I'll just make sure that that makes sense. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here is the actual post. And I'm going to paste all of that text here, and then I'm going to hit enter, and we'll just see what ideas we get. Now, as is always the case with AI, you get some good ideas, you get some bad ideas. It's not always great, but it just helps if you're struggling to come up with things. And as I'm making a video, Claude's taking a little bit longer than usual. Okay, but we've got this. An Osaka pocket guide, an Osaka food checklist, a budget breakdown template, photography guide, Osaka phrases cheat sheet. That would be kind of cool. Osaka phrases cheat sheet. So let's actually, no, that wouldn't be that good because that's going to mean that I'm going to have to play around with the Japanese language, and that may not be enticing for people. A printable PDF is great, but I want something simple. So I'm going to go with the Osaka food checklist. And I'm just going to say, please create this. and just see what we get. We may get something good, we may get something bad. Now, obviously, if you know the subject matter, you can verify that what you get is correct. If you don't, then you're just going to be guessing, and the chances are you might provide people with something that isn't actually accurate. So it's really important that you can understand this. But I've lived in Japan for a long time, and I know that, things are either correct or not when it comes to this kind of stuff. I know that a lot of these foods that are being suggested are not just in Osaka, but some of them are popular in Osaka. So we're going to let it do its thing. Now, I've now got to create this content upgrade and automate the delivery of it. Now, I can, of course, design a wonderful PDF or checklist on Canva, but I've got to then download that, upload that to Amazon S3 and sort everything out. So I want something much better. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to copy this whole thing here. We're going to copy this. Now, this next part is totally optional. You can, of course, create this in a multitude of ways, but I'm going to use this tool, which is called Lead Creator, because this simplifies the whole process. Now, if you'd like to check out Lead Creator, I'll leave a link below. You can get a free trial and play around with it. And if you like it, you can sign up for a paid account. But again, this is entirely up to you. But I'm going to call my lead magnet the Osaka Food Checklist. As for the category, I'll just call it food, doesn't really matter. And then here, the template, I'm actually going to create a blank template. Now, we do have all of these things here where Lead Creator can create a lot of these things for you, but I prefer to create them outside. I find that the end result's a bit better, and then bring them into Lead Creator. So we'll go with a blank lead magnet, and then we'll hit create, and then we're there. So bring up this little editor. All I'm going to do is paste everything here. Nice and easy. I'm going to come to the top. I'm going to get rid of this little line. I'm going to come down here. I'll leave that little line in there, I think. Bonus where to find them. And this is pretty much all we need to do. I'm actually going to click on this and I'm going to make it centered. I can turn it into an H1 if I want to. It doesn't really matter. It's not for SEO. And we've got some cool stuff here. Now, what we can do is we can add images just to make it look a little bit nicer. To add an image, you just want to find a space. So I'm just going to click space in here. I'm going to hit / on my computer, and then we've got image. Click on this once and I'll upload this image here of a dish that I ate in Osaka. We've got that one there. You need to make sure that these are PNGs, JPEGs, and that they are under 500 KB in size, otherwise they won't upload. I can come down here and I can add another one at the bottom. Let's add another one at the bottom. So we'll hit the /, we'll click on image. We've got one of Osaka Castle, so hopefully that will upload there. That's cool. So we don't need to worry about anything else. I think this is good as it is. But what we can also do is we can potentially monetize this as well. So I'm going to add an affiliate link in here. Now, if I go over to this page, this is called Viator, which is a popular travel affiliate program. I've got a video on this if you want to check it out. I've typed in Osaka, and if I come down, I can find this one here, Osaka Food Tour, 13 delicious dishes at 5 local eateries. We'll click on this, and then I can get my affiliate link. I'll give it a little label so I know what it's about. Short link. Copy link. Now what I can do is I can come back over here and I could, make one of these words link out to that affiliate link, or what would make more sense is potentially adding a button somewhere. So let's come down here and let's kind of put that in there. We will hit / and I'll put button, and then I'm going to click on the button and change the text. So let's actually, before I change the text, let's actually click on this once more and add the link first so I don't forget. Open it in a new tab, click on the tick, so we're good, click outside. Then if I come back here, I'm just going to I'm actually going to copy this whole thing. It may be a little bit long, but we'll copy it. We'll come back, we'll click on this again, we'll change the text, and let's see what this looks like. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Maybe change the color so it changes a little bit. I don't like that. Well, that's a bit too bright. Let's make that a bit darker. Maybe we could make it large. Let's see, that's a bit too much, isn't it? Let's leave it at medium and just leave it at that. It's nice and simple. So now I've got my lead magnet. I'm actually going to get rid of that little dash there. And if I want to, I can also link out to these places to, articles on my website, or I can get rid of them. And in fact, what I'm going to do is just leave them there for now. Then I'm going to click on email capture, and I'm going to go to templates. I'm going to choose the standard one, but they do have other templates here. Now, rather than just imagine something, what I'm going to do is come back here, and then I'm going to ask Claude, give me short, simple text for my opt-in page, as well as button text to get maximum conversions. And let's just see what we get here. Hopefully it's going to give me some ideas. And again, with AI, you don't have to use what it tells you, but it's just useful if you can't think of what to say, or you would just like to get some ideas. So let's see. Okay, so that's all we've got. Unlock the ultimate Osaka food experience. So actually, or even this might be good. Let's click on that. So let's just, always a bit fiddly. Let's click on that and copy this. Let's come back. And if we come down to form fields, we've got this. I'm actually going to get rid of that last bit. Okay. I'm actually going to get rid of this as well. Keep it nice and short. Name and email we'll leave. We'll leave this as the default. But for the button label, I am going to just use this. So that makes sense. For styles, I'm just going to change the colouring from the default blue. I like this kind of orangey colour. So that looks good there. And the trigger, and this will make more sense shortly, but I'm going to choose 2 seconds. And then when I'm ready, I need to make sure that I save my changes. From here, integrations, and you want to make sure that you've integrated your email autoresponder. You've only got to do it once, and I've done it for Aweber. So now I need to choose my list, and my list is my Japan newsletter. So if I go there, that's the one. That's all I need to do. Now, social slider, if I want to add social proof, I can, which means I can turn this on. Has just got access to this. Let's delete that. And let's come back here. They've got access to this. There we go. Free printable Osaka food checklist. So copy that. Put that there, get rid of that T. And what this means is when somebody comes to the page and they go to opt in, they're going to see a message like this. Now, this is real, it's not fake. So if nobody opts in, they're not going to see this. But if somebody has opted in previously, then this will pop up. I don't need to worry about expiring URL or scarcity maker. For settings, I'm going to choose a domain. So I've got a domain here, and I'm just going to call this Osaka food list update. If I want to, I can add a footer link, so I can put Japan Insider Secrets, come back here and just grab the URL of the actual blog and put that in there, save, and I can even change the page background color, and I could make it slightly dark grey-ish and hit save. Now, once we're happy and all of this stuff is done, we come back to Content Editor, we hit Publish, so we're now published, and then we click on View, and we bring this down so you can see here is the URL, and then you can see it's suddenly blurred out after a few seconds, which is how I set it. And if people want this, they've got to put their name, email address, check this, click the little box, and then this will unblur and they can get access to it. But it also puts them on my newsletter as well, where they get information all about Japan, in my case, sent twice a week. So it's a great way to help to build your list. Now, all I've got to do now is take this URL, come back to my post and put it in here. So I can open this post up and add a button or a link, and maybe I could put it in multiple places. And in fact, why don't we do this right now? So first I want to find some text where it would make sense. So I could highlight amazing food, click on the link, plonk in that URL, click on it there, and we're good. If you want to, you can of course have it open in a new tab. That is entirely up to you. And now we've got it there, I could turn it, I could turn these images into links as well. So there's one thing there. And what I can also do is I can add a button. So let's see if we can find something related to food. Tasty Eats in Dottenbury. Nice and simple. We've got that image there. So what I'm going to do is kind of come down here, hit enter, and then I can hit this plus and I can do a search for button, and we can click on button. Then I'm going to make sure that it's centered. I'm then going to put something in here. So again, I'm going to come back and I'll just put this in here. Let's copy the whole thing there. We'll come back, we'll put that there. We then need to go and get a link. So I'm going to click on this. So let's just put that link in there and click this. Again, I'll put this to open in a new tab, but you don't have to. And if you want to, you can come over here and change how it looks. We've got the style. So the background, I could play around with this. I've got green, I've got a bit of a brighter green. Again, entirely up to you. Typography, we could make it bigger, we could make it larger. I think that's a bit too large. Text, we can click on this. I think white would make sense for now. And again, you can play around with this and make it look as nice as you want. Now, if I were to hit save, wait for it to save, and then I can check the actual post out and see what it looks like. Let's click on view post. So now somebody comes to this post and they start consuming the content. Oh, and look, they see a link here. So they click on the link and it opens up here to the lead magnet. It blurs out, and if they want it, they opt in. If they don't, they don't. Also, we can come down here and they're going to find a button when they get down here. There you go, got the button. I'll have to format this a little bit to make the space look better, but similar kind of deal. They click on this and they go to the lead magnet and it blurs out. So it's a great way to add content upgrades to your popular posts to build your email list. And you can see that if you do leverage a tool like Lead Creator and maybe Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or something, it does make the whole process quicker and smoother. Thank you for watching. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in another video soon. Take care.